It's funny how sometimes the most beautiful places, they hide the absolute darkest secrets. Today, we're going to dive into a story that starts out as this perfect romantic trip. But man, it ends in a nightmare with absolutely no way out. All right, just picture this for a second. You're planning the perfect birthday surprise for someone you love, right? A quiet trip away from it all, maybe some camping under the stars. Sounds amazing, doesn't it? But what happens when that perfect little escape turns into something else? Something terrifying. A place where the past is very much alive and it's just waiting. Well, that's exactly what happens to our main characters, Arav and Nisha. Okay, so this is where our story really kicks off. Arav, he wants to do something super special for his girlfriend Nisha's birthday. A road trip, a little camping, just the two of them. It's supposed to be this amazing celebration of their love, but it ends up being the beginning of the end. And this is what makes the setup so perfect, really. You've got Nisha. She's a writer, and she's fascinated by all things spooky. Ruins, mysterious places. You get the idea. Then there's Arav. He's a photographer, and his whole thing is capturing reality, capturing every single moment. So their passions are about to crash head-on with a horror that, trust me, neither of them saw coming. So they've been on the road for a couple of hours, and their journey takes them to this village, a place called Rudhairpur. And right here, this is where everything changes. That whole romantic, fun vibe of their trip, it just vanishes, and this creepy, unsettling feeling starts to take over. I mean, get this. It's only 6 p.m., right? But the whole village is just quiet, deathly silent. And it's dark, like unnaturally dark for that time of day. No people walking around, no sounds, not a thing. It's like the whole town is holding its breath, just waiting. And as they look closer, that uneasy feeling gets way worse. This isn't just an empty village. It feels ritualistic. The only light is from these torches burning outside every home, and every single door, painted blood red. And on top of that, there are these strange mantras written in black ink. Nisha is totally creeped out, but Arav, the photographer, he's intrigued. He thinks it's a fascinating, if eerie, scene to capture. So while Arav is snapping pictures, this old woman in a red sari literally appears out of nowhere. She shouts this terrifying warning at them, and then, poof, she's gone, just like that. Arav is just standing there, totally stunned. A wedding procession? Here? In this ghost town? He turns back to the car, and his blood just runs cold. Nisha's gone. In her place, he sees this impossible vision. It's Nisha, walking away into the darkness, and she's holding the hand of this ghostly groom. You can't see his face, and there's blood just dripping from his hand. And all around them are these ghostly women in wedding dresses, chanting. So Arav just screams her name, and then, suddenly, she's right there, tapping him on the shoulder. The groom, the creepy procession, it's all gone, vanished. Nisha is totally fine, looking at him like he's crazy, asking what's wrong. She says she just wandered off for a second to get a better look at some old bungalow in the distance. So, what was that? Was he just seeing things? Or did he get a peek into something else? Something real and terrifying? Obviously, they're both pretty shaken up. They get out of that village fast and set up their camp by a river. They're trying their best to just shake it off, get back to their romantic birthday trip. But Arav's camera, well, it's about to show him that what he saw was no hallucination. It was very, very real. Sunisha's by the bonfire, and she playfully asks him to take her picture. So he does. He snaps a photo. Then he takes another one, but when he looks down at the camera screen, he just freezes. There, in every single picture, is that ghostly groom, standing right behind Nisha. And with each photo he took, the figure got closer and closer. And this is where it gets truly terrifying. He frantically shows the camera to Nisha, but she sees nothing. To her, they're just beautiful pictures of her by the fire. Only Arav can see this phantom in the photo. Can you imagine that? He's completely alone in this nightmare. It's like his own eyes, his own camera, are turning against him. Later that night, of course, he can't sleep. He's just scrolling through the photos he took back in that creepy village, Rudhairpur, and his heart just stops. The groom is there, in those pictures too. He's standing silently outside every single one of those red doors. This isn't just some random vision. This thing is real, and it's following them. So the next evening, they're trying to put all this behind them, and then they see it, that bungalow, the same one Nisha had pointed out earlier. But it's different now. The rundown old building is lit up, blazing with light. It looks like a palace, and it feels like it's pulling them in. They go inside, and the whole scene is just bizarre. There's this incredible feast laid out on silver platters, enough for a king, but the place is empty. Not a single person in sight. No music, no guests, just this really strong, sickly sweet smell of dead flowers. And before they can even think about leaving, bam, the huge doors slam shut behind them. They're trapped. And that's when it all happens. The groom appears at the top of the stairs. Arav can only watch, completely frozen, as Nisha's eyes turn this milky white. She's not herself anymore. She's moving like a puppet, walking straight toward him. The groom places this dried, withered garland around her neck, and he forces her into this twisted wedding ritual. Arav finally snaps out of it and rushes to stop it, but it's too late. The groom, Nisha, the feast, everything just vanishes in a cloud of black smoke. Arav is just alone in what is now a dark, filthy, ruined old building. He runs all the way back to the village, just screaming for help, and he finds her, that old woman from before, and she's the one who finally tells him the whole horrifying story behind that bungalow and behind the groom. It turns out that ghostly groom was once a zamindar, a really evil landlord who ruled the villages ago. He was deep into dark magic, and to become immortal, he had this horrific ritual. On every new moon, he'd force a young woman to marry him, and then he'd sacrifice her to these dark powers on their wedding night. Eventually, the villagers just couldn't take it anymore. They got together, and they burned the zamindar and his entire bungalow to the ground. But they couldn't get rid of his evil spirit. It's still there, trapped in the ruins, just waiting. And every single new moon, which of course was the night Anurav and Nisha showed up, his spirit rises, creates that ghostly illusion of his palace, and waits for a new bride to complete his ritual. And that's the last, absolutely devastating thing the old woman tells him. Nisha was chosen. She is the bungalow's new bride, sacrificed to this ancient evil, and she is never, ever coming back. Arav planned this perfect trip for just the two of them. And in the end, he's the only one who gets to leave. It really makes you wonder, doesn't it? Are some places just better left alone?